No, actually, Tish asked her, oh, I thought I was starting. And she said, oh, I was just shooting for the picture for the patch. So that was what that was about. Tish coming out strong. I talked to her before this match. She said she thought they were getting a little bit tighter in the middle part of the lane. The shot in the 10th frame, what she did was she moved a little right to see if she could bank it, or if she had a little hold. It went through the nose. She chose to move back left, throw it a little bit harder.
Okay. Good information. Kim Adler now up in a career on television. She hasn't fared well against Tish Johnson. She's 0-4, only averaged 183.5 against Tish Johnson on TV.
Kim changed to this ball with her last 2 practice shots left. Spoke to Rachel, spoke to Leanne. They told me the lane started to hook early and in the middle part of the lane, and that the back ends were already hooking. Kim, on the other hand, told me she chose to move right, and she felt like the middle part of the lane was getting tighter. Looked like a good shot just before it gets down to the head pin. Duck hooked left.
She'll change balls to shoot her spare and covers it up. So she did defeat Tish Johnson during the week. It was a close match, though, just 2 pins. And on the year, during the week, she's down against Tish, 3-5. 229 average. As you mentioned, Carolyn, average is pretty high this week.
Kim was 3rd on the TV pair out of all the finalists this evening.
High again. This time leaving it for 7. Oh my gosh. That's it. I think somebody's down there. She's thanking him. Oh my, that 10 pin fell very late.
Goes through the nose again. Pin goes through the 6-10, knocks the 6, and rolls the 10 after about 10 minutes.
Exactly.
I'm not real sure what happened there.
Wow.
She'll change. Actually, she will not change balls. Kim uses her strike ball, or goes off of her strike ball to shoot at spare. She crosses the lane. But you can,
some people do that.
yes, and you're going to see, though, entry of angle is going to be very important here. Leanne went back and said entry of angle to gain carry was the key. The girls tried to stay as far right as possible or as far left to get the better carry. So we'll see what Kim does, because as she goes up the lane, the ball is going through the nose. Just stepping back for a minute.
People down the lane again. We're getting a lot of people out at our television shows, and there was some movement in her peripheral vision there. Women light, 3 pin. She's running it out. She thought it was a good shot. Looks a little confused.
Looks like a good shot. Got it out to 2-3. She did say, though, she felt like the middle part of the lane was getting a little tighter. She might be experiencing a little carry down. She is the only one on that side of the lane. She leaves a 3-pin. She steps off again.
It's the kids in the bleachers.
As we hear. Some excited fans.
Yes,
are,
yes. Kids are moving around in the bleachers.
232 consecutive tournaments, 24 titles, 95 TV appearances. My goodness. It's almost like you look and you say, what else can she do?
All right, you guys got to sit still, okay?
Well, there's a lot that goes on throughout our week, and one of the things is our Pro-Am. So if you're within driving distance of Las Vegas, or if you're looking for a quick getaway, join the PWBA athletes in a Pro-Am event at the Tour's new Vegas home, Texas Station. Pro-Am squads for the Storm Las Vegas PWBA Challenge are Sunday, November 3rd. Entrants receive a Storm Shock Trauma. So call 702-631-1050 or 800-654-8804 to sign up. We'd love to see you out there. Get to know the ladies and men.
Sent a couple messengers. Doesn't hit either pin. Looks like it's coming right into the pocket. 2 pins hit both of those, and neither one falls. She's disgusted.
Nice break.
Gets one. She says, nice break. She may have to make a move here. Like I said, she's probably experienced a little bit of carry down. Only one on her side. Honestly, the adjustments might be minor. Could be a good factor, could be a bad factor.
Kim Adler now in the lead by 11 pins. That on our Travelodge scoreboard. After that bad break for Tish Johnson, after Kim just received a good break on that same lane.
Looks like Kim moved a little bit further right. She's going a little more direct up the lane, leaves the 10 pin. What happened this week was as the lanes started to break down, we were playing beginning of the week the 3, 4, 5 break point area. Instead of trying to move left, everybody still tried to move right. Used weaker equipment, shined the equipment they were using to try to keep that area from burning up. Kim dreaded miss.
She was handed a break and just gave it back.
Yes. Now, one thing Kim did say last night, she emphasized the fact her spare shooting was better this week, where in the past few weeks she's been sparing terribly. But she said, finally, this week, it all came together. I was throwing a lot of strikes, making my spares. Here we go.
Wow, that just slid off. So right now she trails by 1 pin in the 4th frame.
Oh, a kid coming over. Oh, you are kidding. Back to back, 7 10s. Pin comes over, goes to hit the 10, but it still stands. Looks like another good shot. Comes in light, half pocket. Pin rolls over, taps it, but doesn't knock it over. So a lot of 7 10s the last day. Lanes were a little bit different. Carry wasn't as good.
Tish can't believe it. You know, we'll see when Liz Johnson gets on our top seat. She actually picked up the 710 again this week, last week, and this week.
Unbelievable. And she shot at the 7 pin each time, and boom, bounced it out. Here's our PWBA millionaires. Tish, 3rd on the list. Leanne just joining them last week, 4th. Great shot by Tish, making the adjustment. Looks like she's going to move a little left, a little more direct up the lane.
Well, that's something that she told us, Carolyn, she's been working on, is now she leads by 12 pins to 4 frames. That she's been working to try to be able to play more direct, because she's one who always liked to go left or away with the ball.
She likes to float the ball off her hand to the left, and she's really been trying to practice to stay more up the back of it and a little more square through the head. She says ball conserves energy, gets a little more pop on the back. Another shot by Tish.
We'll take a quick break and then return with more semifinal action. Through 4.5 frames, Tish Johnson is out in front by 22 pins. Stay with us. We're back, and while we were away, Tish Johnson threw 2 more strikes. Kim Adler another 10 pin. This time she spared it and then tripped a 4. So right now, Johnson in the lead by 32 pins. Make it 42.
Tasteful, powerful look. Just like Liz Johnson was saying last night, hey, I was able to play in the comfort zone the last 2 weeks. Guess what? Tish made the same comment. She's in her comfort zone. That's what she likes to do. She's worked at trying to make it a little more versatile for herself. Here's the result.
Kim Adler won earlier this year. That was the 3rd event of the year. High again.
That was a great example of how 1-2 hooked all week. When you got it there early, though, this is the result. Get it off your hand. You got it a little right early. Boom. Bounce through the nose. The hook really hooked off 1-2.
So she will attempt to convert the 610 this time, and she does. And we talked about that heartbreaking finish for Marsha Kamrowski. What a bad break she had, even though she threw the last 4. Carolyn there in 7th. Marianne actually 4th in average, but only 8 wins.
Yeah, she had a big 279 game to move herself up, too. Dee Dee Davidson coming back this season strong, making the finals from a back injury. Kelly Kulik, our reigning Rookie of the Year.
Adler now in the 7th frame, trailing by 42 pins. She almost is in a must-strike situation. And that's a repeat of what we saw in lane 19 while we were at break. Tripping that 4.
A little more direct up the lane. Gets the break.
Well, Well, you're talking about all the changes Tish has made. She leaves the 7 pin. Carolyn, one of the things that she did this week was she went to lighter equipment the last day.
Very last day, she used a 14-pound bowling ball, and I said to her, "You did?" She said, "I've approximately been home a little bit," and she told us why.
Yeah, the question is, does it take away from her carry? She covers it up, but as you said, Carolyn, she told us why earlier, why she decided to use that 14-pound bowling ball.
Well, I needed to move a little bit left, and with the stuff I was using, it was just hooking a little bit too soon. So with 14, I can get the ball down the lane a little bit quicker, and it goes down the lane further, and it reacts a lot better and saves up energy.
Seems to be saving enough energy tonight so far. Now, because of the fact that she's able to oftentimes keep a good angle into the pocket, it's easier with the 14-pound ball when she has a bit deeper, correct?
It is. I mean, angle of entry is very important. And one thing that she realizes too is with the 14-pound equipment, she's able to move left, throw it harder, and get the result she wants.
Almost a result she didn't want.
Look at this on the same lane, but gets the 7 out this time. I did ask her though tonight. She's throwing 15 pounds.
Oh, she is.
Yes, she is. I asked her on the break.
Okay. And did she say why?
She said because they were tighter when she started, and she felt she needed a little bit of roll and a slower ball speed. And as before Kim's match, I asked her again, have they changed for you at all? And like I said, she said yes. I think they're getting even a little tighter in the back and in the middle. So she will stay with the 15-pound equipment, she said, until she feels like she has to throw it harder. Going a little more direct on that lane, not getting it, not bumping it to the right to hit the dry, leaves the 4-pin.
Look at the averages for the television pair, as you mentioned earlier. Leanne Barrett with the highest, 227. Rachel and Perez and Kim Adler in the 220s.
Unbelievable. And this week it was amazing that people were averaging 227 and they weren't winning matches.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
You know, Tish shot 300 over, or 293 over, and she won 3 matches. I mean, that's unheard of.
That is pretty amazing.
Here at the Pasadena Open, 13 of the top 24 players averaged 220 or better. That's a pretty good week. 24 700 plus series, 2 300 games. Maxine Nabel and Carol Giannotti Block. I think there's an Australian thing going. And 42 times a player bowled over. I mean, that's just amazing.
That's crazy.
That's high scoring.
Kim Adler led the field with 4 of those 24 700s. She had 4 this week.
Oh, trips it on the left lane again.
Well, she has that left lane going, lane 19. She sure has figured out how to trip before, but 20 seems to be a mystery to her. And she doesn't realize that it's the 10th frame.
She's saying so soon? She wants another frame. And Tish is laughing at her. Oh, sure, Tish. It's easy to laugh at somebody when you're ahead by 4 yourself.
Oh, sorry, but this is good. Tish is trying to turn around so Kim Adler can't see that she's laughing, but it's okay. Kim can laugh at herself on this one as well.
I think Kim's very happy with her performance this week. She made a few changes, and it really paid off for her.
She wish she could have just bowled the match on lane 19. So Tish Johnson will advance, but first when we return, Queens and Championship Tournament information on this week's WIBC Extra Frames.